And I'm back again. So what I thought I'd do is about 3.5 weeks ago, I was down in Minneapolis and we were at this kid show, Blippi. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but there was kids everywhere. Me and the wife and the kids stayed at a hotel right by the airport. 4 days later, I start getting like a weird feeling in my throat and my lungs. Next day I wake up, I'm feeling okay, but I still feel like a tightness in my lungs and I feel a sore throat and a stuffy nose coming on. I made it to 11 o'clock that day and then I went home, took a nap, woke up at 2, and then I had I think it was 102, 103 fever. So that was a Thursday. I had a fever until Monday. So I had a fever for about 5 days. Throughout that fever, I had extreme body aches. I had a sore throat, cough, and the cough was persistent. It was dry, and it was painful. It was something like I've never had before. It was just very painful, and when I coughed, it felt like someone was just putting a vice grip on your ribs. The other thing that I had through it was the day I got symptoms, I lost taste or smell. And I didn't get taste or smell back probably until the Wednesday of the following week. And what's weird about it is it was instant. Before my nose was clogged or anything, it was just a complete loss of smell and taste. And at the time, I remember thinking, and this was when coronavirus was really, it was kind of serious, but no one was really thinking it was that serious. And I remember thinking, like, wow, I cannot taste or smell anything. And I've never experienced that before. And I remember thinking the cough was something that I've never experienced. I wasn't dying. I didn't feel like I was dying, but that cough was intense. And I didn't cough all the time, but it was persistent. And when I did cough, it was I shouldn't say very painful, but it was painful. Um, the other thing is when I would get up and I basically quarantined myself into a guest bedroom. And when I got up to go to the bathroom or to get water, by the time I got back to bed, it was like I ran a marathon. You know, you guys, if you run, you're out of shape and your lungs really hurt. That's what it felt like. Um, and the body aches. And sometimes I had just shaking. I was just shaking. I was so cold, but yet I was so hot. Um, so that started about Wednesday, Thursday, and then I went to the doctor well, I had called the doctor throughout all this to ask if I should come in, and they told me no. Finally, I went to urgent care on Sunday because the fever wasn't letting up, the cough, and I thought maybe I could get tested. So I went in. They tested me for flu and strep. I was negative for both of them. And that was a nurse without a mask or anything on. And so she said, yeah, well, a doctor will come back with the results. The doctor came in with a full plastic mask on, like covering her face and a mask. And I think she had glasses on, like goggles. And she comes in and goes, nope, you don't have flu, you don't have strep. Um, we don't really know what you have, but we're going to give you Tamiflu. And I said, well, can I get tested for coronavirus? And she said, no, no, we're not going to test you. At the time, I thought, well, is that because you don't think I have it? And I asked her that, and she said, no, I think you do have it. But at that time, they were only testing people who had come into contact with it, like knowingly, a person confirmed positive, or had left the country, or traveled to a state that had a high prevalence. And I had none of that. So I never got tested for coronavirus. I quarantined myself for a week and a half. Still to this day, I am having some trouble breathing. I wouldn't say trouble, but labored breathing if I do anything physical. Still, And the other thing was, and my wife got sick, but she didn't get as sick as I did. She had a slight fever, body aches, maybe sinuses and stuff. But the thing that's weird is both of us have still been blowing up. Like when we blow our nose, there's blood in it. So what I'm saying is, I got sick, probably the most sick I've ever been, and I don't, I'd like to think it was coronavirus because hell, at least if I had it, then I had it, and we're good. But I really don't know what I had. So I guess what I made this second portion for was hopefully I had results, like if we could do antibody testing and I had it, so I could tell you a positive message that I didn't have to go to the hospital. I was sick, but I'm a baby when I'm sick. My wife, she got the same thing, whatever it was. She made it through easily and didn't go to work. I guess this is maybe a positive message. I wish I could tell you it was positive. Um, Most of my friends and family think I had it. Uh, so maybe a positive message to tell you my experience. And then with the not being able to smell and taste, I didn't see that that was a symptom until probably a few days after my severe symptoms went away. So, and that, it brought back like, holy shit, I remember thinking I couldn't smell or taste anything. I've never experienced it like that before. I mean, I would take cologne and I just couldn't smell it. Even though my nose wasn't clogged, I couldn't smell a thing. So it was strange, but it wasn't. I've been through some really bad sicknesses, and I'd compare them about the same. So I don't know, guys. Maybe if you want to comment on some of your experiences, I bet you know someone that has had flu-like symptoms, went to the doctor, and they tested negative for the flu, and they said they didn't know, just some virus. I like to think that my positive thinking is that a lot of this country has had it or been exposed and had no symptoms. And when they start that antibody testing, they're going to find out this thing isn't as deadly as they thought. You have Italy, and their population is way older. They're very close, and our country's spread out. I think positive things are to come, and I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out that makes us rethink what we did, be proud of what we did, but also make us not worry every single day. All right, that's it. That's my experience. Who knows if I had it or not? Hopefully I get tested for antibodies to find out. And if I did, some anxiety would go away. All right, cheers, guys.